Welcome everyone to the Springfield Township Board of Trustees regular meeting. It's June 10th, 2025, 5:30 p.m. Mr. Burning, can we have a roll call, please?
Yes, Ms. Braun?
Present.
Mr. Honolo?
Present.
Mr. Burning?
Present.
All the trustees are present.
We could all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Tonight we have a special guest, our Hamilton County Auditor, Jessica Miranda. If you could, she has a little presentation, I believe.
Well, good evening, and thank you for having me, honorable trustees and the rest of the Township administration. It's very nice to see you, and I greatly appreciate the time you have given me on your regular agenda tonight to come out as one of my stops on what we're calling our Auditor, if you will, across the entire county. You know, we had a very, very amazing auditor for a very long number of years, Dusty Rhodes, and I feel like it was a great time to get back out here in the county, visit every single municipality, and remind folks what we do, maybe some of what we don't do as your county auditor, and what we have to assist you with and provide for our shared constituency. So I'm going to go ahead and get right into my presentation here. So, hello, I'm Auditor Jessica Miranda. Former state representative. I served as the minority party whip for about 3 years in the State House. My total time in the State House was about 5.5 years, which in normal human years, that feels like 50.5, serving in the Ohio State House. And then prior to my service there, I was on my local school board and served as the Winton Woods School Board President for 5 years. So I have a very, very good grasp on what local funding means to townships like yours, and what school funding means to all of the various public school districts that you have here in your township. So a little bit about what your county auditor and the other 87 county auditors are tasked with doing under Ohio state law is all of these things here, but I promise you so much more. I learn a new task that we are in charge of almost every single week, so it keeps it fun, keeps what we do very energized as we serve everyone in Hamilton County. But think of your county auditor as the chief financial officer of the county. We pay all of the county's bills, and we take care of all accounts receivable and payable for the county and its various departments. We are also the real property assessor. Here in Hamilton County, we are the third largest county in the state. We have a little over 350,000 parcels that we assess. That is residential property, industrial property, and commercial property. We are one leg of the tripod for the County Board of Revision, and one leg of the tripod of the County Budget Commission. We also administer 3 very important programs from the state, which is the rental registration program, and we understand that there are a lot of municipalities across the county now that are beginning their own rental registration program, so I'm not sure if you have one here in the township, but it is the law. If you are a landlord, you have to file a registration document with your county auditor, and we record that on every property on our website as well. We also run the homestead exemption program. For folks who are not aware, this is a property tax assistance program for those that are 65 and older. It does have an income attachment to it. It went up a little bit in the past couple of years, but it certainly is not indexed to inflation like it should be to give homeowners the most bang for their buck. So we've been advocating as the County Auditors Association of Ohio to the state lawmakers to make that credit better, so that it can assist the most people that it could possibly here in our county. And then also the owner occupancy credit. So if you live in and own your home, you do get a slight tax credit for that as well. And fun fact, we do all of the dog licensing in the county. So if you do have a furry friend that happens to be a canine, please know that it is the law to get a dog license. It's $19. There is a time frame to do that every year. January 1st is the month that we are doing that. but you can get your canine friend licensed any time of the year. If it's not in time, you'll get a late fee. So you'll see some more things coming out of my office regarding dog licensing, especially with some of the dangerous dogs. You've seen stories kind of around the county, and we find out too late, unfortunately, that these dogs are not licensed. So we're going to be doing a lot more in our communities to spread the word of how important it is to get your canine friend licensed here in Hamilton County. And then our Weights and Measures Department, I love to refer to this department in our office as the Consumer Protection Department. So if you go to pump gas, you'll see my sticker or our seal that has been placed on that gas pump. If you go to your local grocery deli or just the checkout aisle at your local grocery, you'll see our seal on all of the weights and measures for produce, meats, and cheeses, because our team is making sure that those scales are correct and that you are for sure getting the pound of turkey they say you are getting for the price that you are getting it for. So we love our Weights and Measures Department. It is a mighty team of 3 gentlemen who have been with the auditor's office for quite some time. I'll tout my team and say that we have one of our 3 members of the Weights and Measures Department hasn't missed a day of work in his entire decades-long career at the auditor's office. So they are hardworking staff members and civil servants, and we appreciate all of the work they do for the people of Hamilton County greatly. And then, of course, all other duties assigned by the statute and the state, and you could imagine there are many. So if you ever need anything from us, we are happy to serve, and we have great staff that are ready and willing to help you with anything you may need here in the township or for township constituents as well. So we serve the community, but we certainly do not do it all. We do not collect your property taxes. That's the county treasurer, Jill Schiller. We do not manage deeds. That's the county recorder, Scott Crawley. And we do not provide surveys and maps. That's our county engineer, Eric Beck. And we certainly do not make abatement or tax policy. That is a combination of your local trustees, councilmen, women, and your state lawmakers as well. And here in the auditor's office, we work in values, not taxes. This is a slide we love to show folks, especially after the last mass reappraisal that we just went through in 2023. So we do not have the authority to outright lower your property tax liability whatsoever. Tax policy is, of course, set by the state and your locally elected officials. So we work in values, meaning if your property value goes up or down 5%, that does not necessarily mean your property tax liability will go up or down 5%. It all depends on the types of levies that were voted for in your political subdivision, as well as the tax policies set by the state. So what we have here is a 3-area comparison. We just want to show how different it could be, your property tax liability in different political subdivisions. So we pulled a parcel. These are all real parcels, by the way, in these 3 municipalities. A parcel that is worth, the market value is a little over $236,000. One in Cincinnati, one in Green Township, and one in the city of Sharonville. And you can see there that the property tax for each of these properties are very, very different compared or based on where they live. So you'll see there that the city of Cincinnati is paying about a little over $1,000 more than the township of Green. And then in the Green Township, you're paying a little bit more than you're paying in the city of Sharonville. And that all just depends on your local levies that have been voted in your township, village, or city in combination with your tax policy as created by the state legislators and your local municipality. All right, now I want to give you a preview of what's to come and what we have just gone through with our real estate reappraisals here in Hamilton County. Ohio law, of course, dictates the cycles of these. So we just finished a mass reappraisal in 2023. We have completed all of the Board of Revision cases that were to come from that mass reappraisal year. And we had a little over 4,700, so that's a feat in and of itself. I've come to learn that not every county across our state finishes these in a timely manner like we're supposed to by the state. So we truly are setting the gold standard here in Hamilton County. What is coming up in 2026 is the triennial update. So we do a mass reappraisal every 6 years, and in between that, every 3 years, there is what's called a triennial, which is basically updating our base, our market base here in Hamilton County, based on comparable real estate sales across the county. It doesn't require our staff going out and doing the entire work that we do surrounding the mass reappraisal, but it is still something our staff works very, very diligently to make sure that those sales are listed accurately and transparently here in the county. And then the next big one, reappraisal every 6 years, will be in 2029. And we do always work in arrears, so each one of these values that are being created in these appraisal years, the taxes are not payable until that following year. All right, this is a new slide we wanted to add in as we go around the county on our auditor and talk about permits. Are they important and why? Yes, permits are very, very important. We have an entire department that works on all of the permits that come in from every municipality across the entire county. And the more information our office has, the more accurate the values are going to be in our tax base around the county. So good permit information helps us collect accurate information for valuation. And we would encourage the township here in Springfield Township, if you have any questions on this, or if your own inspectors ever have any questions on this and would like to call our office, we stand at the ready to help with this process, because I know this process is a difficult one, and a lot of times folks don't know that they may have to file a permit for work that they're doing on their house. So the more that we can work together to make sure this information is accurate, the better our records will be. Okay, we have a pretty important website announcement that I wanted to let everyone know about. We have had the same website for a little over 30 years now, and it is fantastic. Again, our website kind of sets the gold standard across the state, believe it or not. There are auditors from every corner of the state that wish that they could have a website as wonderful as ours that has as much information available to taxpayers. But what we're doing is we're making a little bit more of an inviting homepage. So we're going to update our homepage, and it's going to be compliant with state and federal laws in terms of accessibility. There will be a complete accessibility button that ensures anyone who needs those services can read the website in maybe a different color, context, or it even has accessibility features for folks who are dyslexic as well. Just one click of a button, and it can change the whole look of the website to comply with those federal laws. We've also added in a search bar, which makes navigation much, much easier. So if you're coming to the website and you're looking for, your collected tax rate here in Springfield Township, you can just type that in and it'll pull up everywhere on our website that information is housed. And then, of course, we are entering a translation tool with over 100 different languages that our website can be translated into for further serving the community. And further on our website, we have done a complete upgrade to the Board of Revision page. When I was appointed to this office mid-April of last year, I came right in the heat of the Board of Revision after the last mass reappraisal, and a lot of folks were searching for answers. And so we have taken a deep dive on the Board of Revision website. We've even added a series of 3 videos to explain to folks what the Board of Revision is, what it isn't, and what they must be prepared with. And speaking to evidence for their cases, you'd be able to scroll down here on our new Board of Revision website, and all of those questions are answered. And we've even added a fun little button that if someone goes to one of the Board of Revision forms and tries to print it out, it'll pop up and say, have you read all of the directions, yes or no? And we found that's been helpful immensely across the county for folks looking to file their Board of Revision complaints. And then just a little bit more about our website. I can't talk positively about it enough. HamiltonCountyAuditor.org or HCAuditor.org both work for our website. We like to keep everything as transparent as possible. So all of those 350,000 parcels I mentioned in the top of my presentation can be found on our website with just a simple search of either the parcel number, the address, the owner name, and a couple other ways in which you can search. But this is so helpful because you can find the levy information, you can find what school district you live in, you can find the value history of your particular property, and so much more here as well. And the big piece that I want to talk about in terms of transparency and accountability is our wonderful pie chart that we have. Every single property, you can click on the tax distribution tab, and it will pull up this beautiful, colorful pie chart for you and show you where every penny of your tax liability in the form of your property taxes is going. And this is helpful for folks to break down their tax bill and to know, what their tax dollars are going towards in form of services in our community. You'll notice the biggest piece of that pie chart for every property in the county is going to your local public school district. There is a reason for that. School funding here in Ohio has been unconstitutional since the 80s, and until the state lawmakers get their act together and fix it, that largest portion of that pie graph will remain the same as school districts come and ask their tax base for more dollars. All right, and then we have a plethora of downloads on our website. I mentioned earlier the taxable rate collection. We have that in the form of a spreadsheet, and it's even comparable between tax years. So you can see how your township has fared 2023 versus 2022, so on and so forth. Our rental registration forms are here. Dog licensing forms can be found here. Fuel complaint forms can be found here. This is a big topic we talk about a lot in the auditor's office. We do check that you're getting a gallon of gas that they say you're paying for, but here in Ohio, we're one of 3 states that do not check fuel testing. We don't test our fuel quality. That is a bill that has been brought up time and time again in the Ohio State House, and I, for one, think we should pass it because we would want to be in the majority of states that are testing the fuel quality, but we don't currently do that here in Ohio. So we do have a fuel complaint form. It is paper-based now. We are working to make that electronic so that you can, if you've gotten gas somewhere and you believe it's bad fuel and it has harmed your car, we want to make it more accessible so you can just simply send that complaint form to us online. And we're working to do those various upgrades in and around a lot of places on our website. All right. A little bit more about rental registration. I won't read this verbatim to you as I've already mentioned it a little bit in the top of my presentation, but this is the law here in Ohio. Folks are obligated to file a rental registration form if you are renting a property anywhere in the county. Back to a couple slides before, on that property search page, you can find any property in the county, and it will tell you yes or no, is it a rental property on our page. Last year, we sent out a press release or more of an alert to all of the consumers around the county because we were getting calls in our office of folks letting us know that they had essentially been taken advantage of to the tune of thousands of dollars because folks were telling them, I have this property, apply, pay this application fee, you've been approved, I want you to rent this property, we want you to move in, send us your down payment or your security deposit, your first month's rent, and then they disappeared and people were out all of those dollars. If folks go to that address on our website, they can quickly find out for themselves whether or not that's a rental property so that they're not taken advantage of in any of those rental scams. Okay, and the last thing I want to talk about is the homestead exemption. I mentioned it a little bit earlier, but the homestead exemption is no longer getting the bang for the buck that it used to get for our property owners. We have been spending lots of time in the State House, giving hours upon hours of testimony as the County Auditors Association of Ohio to ask our lawmakers to fix this, whether or not they decide to take away that modified adjusted gross income requirement or increase it so that it keeps up with inflation. we've got to do something about this because this does not carry the same kind of effect that it was once carrying for the residents of Hamilton County. We used to be in a place where we had over 10,000 folks in our county reaping the benefits of the homestead exemption on their property tax bill. We're now at less than 1,500. So it's bleak. And quite frankly, for most of us auditors across the state, it's quite embarrassing to run this process because we have to collect tons of information from folks just to see if they qualify, and more often than not, they do not because of that income requirement. So we want to be able to help more folks around the county, but we need our state lawmakers to help us out in that endeavor. That way we can do that and keep those folks who are the most important to our communities. I won't go through this word for word, but I think everyone understands that our senior or our elderly Ohioans are pillars of our community. They deserve to have the most relief that they can get. They are the ones who are arguably hurting the most with the new increase in their property tax liability. So if you could help me help you, contact your state representative, your state senator, and state house leadership on both chambers and both sides of the aisle. I would greatly appreciate that. You know, our voices as locally elected officials goes a long way with our state lawmakers. I know that firsthand from serving in the State House. So any work that you can do to impress upon them why this is so important for our seniors across the county, we would greatly appreciate your joint advocacy in this effort with us. All right, owner occupancy credit, qualifications and application. Yes, you do have to fill out an application. Most of the time in a home purchase here in Hamilton County, we get this information through the closing process, but if you look up your property and you see for some reason that is your residential home and you are living there and it says no, you are not getting the owner occupancy credit, please have that person reach out to us so we can get that fixed for them and make sure that they are reaping all of the tax credit benefits that they have available to them from the state of Ohio. All right, and that's it, folks. I feel like I have yapped at you long enough. I appreciate you giving me time on your agenda once again. And we are taking this on the road across the entire county. I'm happy to let you all know you're the 5th presentation, so you're the 5th stop on my tour. I got about 40 more to go, so we got a lot of work to do, but I think it's important for you all to know what your county auditor does, what we don't do, how we run a very, very tight ship on an open door policy, and we stand at the ready to help you and your constituents or our shared constituencies anytime. And I'm happy to point out that for the first time in Hamilton County history, your Hamilton County auditor has social media. So we are using every tool at our hands to get the information out to the people here in Hamilton County. So we're on 3 platforms, technically 4 because we do have a YouTube channel, but Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. If you don't follow us already, I would appreciate you doing so that you can stay up to date with what is going on with your county auditor. And then, of course, our contact information. Please don't hesitate to give us a call. Our civil servants are fantastic, and they can help you with whatever you may need here in Springfield Township. So thank you very, very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Does anybody here have any questions for her? Okay, then we'll move on to the approval of the minutes, including the special meeting on Wildbrook Acres equalization hearing on May 13th, 2025, our regular session May 13th, 2025, and our regular work session on May 30th, 2025. Do we have a motion to approve?
So moved.
Second.
Wasn't here.
I wasn't here.
Yeah, Sarah.
Seconded?
Thank you.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Mr. Browning, if we could have a fiscal officer's report?
Yes, Mr. Burning. For the month ending May 31st, 2025, the township expenditures were $3,644,391.08, and the receipts were $1,515,023.46. The ending cash balance of $28 $6,200,856.51 include obligations for expenditures, payroll, regular operating costs, ongoing capital improvement projects, and investments. What I ask the board is for a motion to approve the receipts, warrants, payroll expenditures, update and current revenue and reports for the period ending May 31st, 2025. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
You can do that.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you, and I want everyone to know that our financial information is available here at the Administration Building during regular business hours or on our website 24/7. Thank you, Mr. Burning.
Thank you, Mr. Burning. If we could have Kathleen with our department action and discussion items?
Thank you, Mr. Burning. Mr. Gilbert is on a well-deserved vacation tonight, so I am happy to fill in his big and fancy shoes for our meeting this evening. So we just have two action items for the board this evening. The first is to set the date and time of the Brentwood Village Road Resurfacing Project Equalization Hearing. That project is finally complete. It was a part of the 2024 road resurfacing project and consisted of 9 streets. By my count, it is the 28th type of project that we've done in this assessment way. And following our process so far, now that the project is complete, we need to set the date and time for an equalization hearing for anyone to come if they have any questions on how that project was determined to be assessed for each property in the project. So we are proposing to have that equalization hearing prior to the next regular meeting at 5:15 on July 8th here in the Township Administration Building. If that works for everybody.
Say 5:15.
That's fine.
5:15.
5:15, yeah.
Okay.
Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. The only other action item I have for this evening is to set the date and time of the 2026 tax budget public hearing. That public hearing is required by Ohio Revised Code 5705.30. It's something that we typically do as a part of the regular meeting held in July, because I think it needs to be submitted to the auditor's office, actually, at some point in July. So we would propose to have that public hearing right at the beginning of the next regular meeting, 5:30, Tuesday, July 8th, again, here in the Township Administration Building.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you. So then, for the personnel update, we had 3 resignations in the fire department. All were part-time EMT firefighters. We had the resignation of Ethan Campbell, Owen Saylor, and Derek Schnurr, again, all part-time EMT firefighters. No activity this month in the police department. In the public works department, we had the new hire of a seasonal laborer, Matthew Profiter. So just seasonal, so he'll just be here for the summer season to help us out. And then no activity in the Arts Center or in DART. So unless there are any questions about that personnel update, I'll turn it over to Kim for our community events and programs.
Thank you. Arts Connect is getting ready to dive into our heavy event schedule, and it starts on this Friday with our Pups for Lunch event, and that goes from noon to 2 p.m. 2 weeks later, we have our Touch a Truck event. We're expecting 46 vehicles at this time. That is going to be on Friday, June 20th from 11 to 1. And then we will go straight into our free community concerts, which are going to be June 27th, July 11th, and July 25th. The concert on the 27th is going to be a Pups in a Park type theme, and we are working with some community partners in the AKC to do dog testing, an agility course, lots of different vendors that are dog related, and expecting a really nice big crowd. Particular one. Also, for Arts Connect, our activity guidebooks just went out in the mail today. We have some copies of the guys out in the lobby here, if anybody wants to pick those up. And we also had the completion of our electric box project. So 19 boxes were complete down the road, and we are having a kind of a selfie promotion right now. If you take your selfie
They look great, by the way.
Counselors.
Yep.
Thank you, Kim. Moving on to departmental activity reports. Did you think because Chris wasn't here, you were going to get out of this tonight? Nope. Chief Niehaus, do you want to tell us what's happening in the police department?
Hey, good evening. How are you? So outside of our normal daily operations, one of the things that the police department is undertaking this month is through our training division, they really kind of did a really deep dive and comprehensive look into the training that our officers are going through and really the specific needs that are needed right now. One of the things training division did with doing that was connected with both regional and national instructors to come in and teach those. So the police department on Monday, June 16th is going to be hosting a regional law enforcement training for legally confident and tactically confident. Really what that integrates is current criminal case law with approved criminal patrol tactics. Really gives our officers a sound foundation when they're out there patrolling the streets and working with our residents, knowing current case law and how to apply the case law to operations and tactics. 2 instructors coming in, very well known across the state and across the country. Said it's regional. We have about 60 or so law enforcement officers attending that training. Moving right into the following week on June 24th, same thing. The police department's hosting a transformational leadership training with some very well-known national speakers and presenters in the law enforcement field who are traveling to the region. And we have law enforcement leadership from across the region. We have about 45 to 50 law enforcement leaders coming to that training as well. So a busy month for training. However, I think because of the efforts of our training division, recognizing the needs of the organization, and then being able to leverage that across the region to be able to afford to bring in speakers of good quality and caliber is a true benefit for us and our residents. So,
Great, thank you. Chief Niehaus. Rick, I know you're filling in for Chief Miller this evening. Would you like
Thank you,
to
Misty.
tell us what's
Yeah,
happening in the fire department?
He wanted to apologize for not being able to be here with us tonight, but he did want to highlight a couple things that went on with the fire department outside of their busy calls for service. They were recognized regionally by our local hospitals for an emergency inter-facility transport that they were involved in. And really what took place there is they just had a normal transport, and I don't want to say normal, but they just a normal transport to a hospital. When they got to that hospital had a trauma patient, a patient that was brought in that turned really bad.
From a different age.
Yeah, and needed to be transported to the University of Cincinnati Hospital so they could get that trauma care. And under the leadership of Captain Matt Morgan, who was the district officer that night, they contacted him, got approval for our life squad to be able to transport. We had medics on that life squad and take great care of that patient to get him to UC so they could get into that life-saving surgery. So the hospitals were really appreciative of our guys and our training, that they knew that protocol was in place, and that they were able to just to step right up and not delay that care for service for somebody else just doing their job. So just kind of shows not only their training and the protocols in place, but the respect and the relationship that we have with all these area hospitals. That's very important for us. So. And then second, they were really proud. One of the things that Chief Miller wanted to accomplish in 2025 was they wanted to complete a blue card incident command training for their command staff and all their supervisors. And basically what that is, it's a training that provides standard approach to any critical incident, not just large scale, but our everyday incidents, serious auto accidents and stuff like that. So it involved about 74 hours of coursework, and 24 of those hours were practical exercises. So they completed that this month, something that they were very proud of. I kind of wanted to give the thanks to Captain Jeremy Kinman and Lieutenant Nick Flick. They went to the training where they were became trained the trainers. They became instructors of that blue card. So we're able to instruct that in-house. So we were able to send them to do the training and instruct the rest of our supervisors. And they set up an excellent training throughout the last 2 months to get all of our supervisors on that consistent incident command. So very proud of them on that. So
Great.
Yep.
Thank you, Rick. And Scott, what's happening in the Public Works Department? I know you've got a lot going on. It's that
Yes.
time of year.
Thank you. As you said, we have completed the Brentwood resurfacing project, which was kind of long. It took us a while to get that done, but it's done. It's 100% complete now. We're finished with that. Our improvements at Lexington Heights Park, them are finally complete, and this is our 4th year that we brought brush service back, and it has absolutely doubled in size from last year at this time. So we're actually having to put 2 crews out. Thankfully, we do have 2 rigs to be able to do that. So we're averaging right around 75 stops a week just on brush. So that's 4 team members that takes to run 2 crews. So that usually takes us Tuesday and Wednesday to get through that. But I can see, I think it's a well-received service from the township. So a lot of people use it.
And your 2025 road projects are starting here soon, is that right? Road resurfacing projects for this year?
Yes.
Yep.
Exactly.
Have those started?
For
Your 3 streets?
yes. Well, yeah, I was going to wait till next month on
Oh,
that,
sorry.
but they're paving
I don't mean
as
to
we
steal your thunder.
speak right now.
Okay, good.
Right, I left there and came here, and we will probably be wrapping that up this evening,
Great.
as long as we don't run into problems. But that project should be done. That was basically 2 days to do those 3 streets.
Okay.
Which was fantastic.
Yeah.
Absolutely went fantastic.
Good to
So,
hear. Thank you.
That's all I have.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Well, unless there are any questions about any of those departmental activity reports, I'll hand it back to you, Mr. Burning, for our resolutions.
Thank you, Ms. Kennedy. The first resolution we have tonight is Resolution Number 44, 2025, authorizing sale by internet auction of unneeded, obsolete, or unfit for use property in the fire department. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Seconded.
Ms. Braun?
Aye.
Mr. Honalaw?
Aye.
Mr. Burning?
Aye.
Resolution carries.
Next is Resolution Number 45, 2025, a resolution authorizing Christopher Gilbert, Township Administrator, Chief Executive Officer, to prepare and submit an application to participate in the Transit Infrastructure Program and to execute contracts as required for the Springdew Lane and Butterfly Court Improvement Project. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Seconded.
Ms. Braun?
Aye.
Mr. Honalaw?
Aye.
Mr. Burning?
Aye.
Resolution carries.
Next is Resolution Number 46, 2025, a resolution authorizing Christopher Gilbert, Township Administrator, Chief Executive Officer, to prepare and submit an application to participate in the Transit Infrastructure Program and to execute contracts as required for the Spruce Hill Drive, Birch Ridge Drive, and Roosevelt Avenue Improvement Projects. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Seconded.
Ms. Braun?
Aye.
Mr. Honalaw?
Aye.
Mr. Burning?
Aye.
Resolution carries.
Next, we have Resolution Number 47, 2025, declaring motor vehicles located on public or private property in Springfield Township, Hamilton County, Ohio, to be junk motor vehicles pursuant to Revised Code 505.173, and ordering the removal of such vehicles pursuant to Resolution Number 80, 2012, and Revised Code 505.871. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Seconded.
Ms. Honalaw? Mr. Honalaw?
Aye.
Ms. Braun?
Aye.
Mr. Burning?
Aye.
Resolution carries.
Next is Resolution Number 48, 2025, resolution declaring a moratorium until December 31st, 2025 on the issuance of any zoning certificates for certain group homes in which unrelated individuals reside. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Seconded.
Ms. Braun?
Aye.
Mr. Honalaw?
Aye.
Mr. Burning?
Aye.
Resolution carries.
Resolution Number 49, 2025, declaring nuisances pursuant to Ohio Revised Code Section 505.87 at various listed properties within Springfield Township and authorizing statutory actions necessary to abate the nuisances. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Seconded.
Ms. Braun?
Aye.
Mr. Honalaw?
Aye.
Mr. Burning?
Aye.
Resolution carries.
Next is Resolution Number 50, 2025, establishing assessment for abatement of nuisance and certifying same to the Hamilton County Auditor. Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Seconded.
Ms. Braun?
Aye.
Mr. Honalaw?
Aye.
Mr. Burning?
Aye.
Resolution carries.
Do we have any old business before the board?
I do not.
I don't have any old
Any
business.
new business?
The only thing I would say on new business, and this has been in the news, a lot of people have seen stories about our electric rates going up rather dramatically in Springfield Township, and it's actually not just Springfield Township, but it's kind of across the country. And I did want to just comment on that. As you all know, we have instituted a electric aggregation program where the township hires a contractor that goes out for us and a broker and tries to find us better rates than Duke Energy would provide. Because at the time that our contract was ending, we didn't think the markets were in turmoil. We didn't think we were going to get a good rate. We actually went back to Duke for 1 month, and that was, I believe, in May. And now we have procured a new contract, and our new rate is going to be 9.45, which is higher than it was, but it is still it's a cent or more or less than the new Duke rate, which is going to be 10.5 cents per kilowatt hour. So it's going to help. We're going to continue saving for residents. You know, you're not going to put your kids through college with this, but every little bit helps. And so this rate will be in effect for the next year. And I just wanted to get it out there. I know there's been people asking me about it, and there's been some confusion. Well, I'm going back to Duke. Why is that? And so with the new program, you'll be back. If you do nothing, you will be back in the township's program, which will be, you'll pay less on your utility bills than if you would decide to opt out and go back to Duke. So just to make that clear, a lot of people have asked me about it.
Yeah, and the reason we go back to Duke for a month is because the rate a month ago was much higher than the 9.45 that we signed up for. By waiting a month, we were able to get a much better rate, and when we're going to sign a contract for a year, we don't want to sign it at the worst time. We want to wait until the rates come down some from where they were so that we can save money, you know, month in and month out, whereas Duke just buys it as it goes along. So their rate fluctuates every month. We try to lock in at a lower rate so you save money every month. That's the plan. Okay, next we have citizen participation. If anybody would like to speak to the board, please step up to the microphone, give us your name and address, and if everybody could be quiet so that we can hear what they're having to say, I'd appreciate it.
My name is Brian Dale. I reside at 8697 Balboa Drive. Hi, Kim. And I wanted to give a shout out to Chris Gilbert. I started Seven Hills Action Group back in 2016, and I started working with Kim and Chris. And so we were able to get a lot done. I think our second year as an organization, we received one of 7 awards given to out of the 52 communities in Hamilton County. So we got one of Keep Cincinnati Beautiful's Golden Spade Award. So I've been working with Chris since I purchased my own house. I turned over the presidency of Seven Hills Action Group to Joe Rivers because he lived in the community, and for me it started off as a school project. So I have since bought a house in Glencoe, and I've been talking to Chris about getting the roads done for several years now. And he came out and met me in February of 24, took a ride around my community and saw the need to have those roads done. And he said, Brian, I tell you, the budget is already set for this year, but I'll try to get you on there for next year. So the shout out is they was in my community today redoing the streets in Glencoe. So they did blacktop them. Now the only question I have is they put new blacktop down, but they said they were not doing the curbs. Just wanted to find out if that was, part of what they're gonna do. It's kind of like you put new streets in and you got these curbs that are cracked up and they're putting black patch in different areas and it don't look good. It's like smiling with a black tooth. So So, and as the lady said earlier, the property values have went up in our community. When I purchased my house for what I paid for, this almost seemed like it's doubled in value. I got it at a great price, but still, I'm vested in the community. And so in order for our community to keep growing and keep getting better, we gonna keep doing what we need to do. You're gonna start hearing more complaints about me with people with broken down cars in their yard and high grass, because we're very meticulous about keeping that little corner on which I live. All the neighbors kind of cut the grass, edge the yards, and everything else. So my biggest concern was, are they gonna do curbs in the community?
Mr. Dell, I can answer your question for you.
Yes.
Unfortunately, this project this year for those streets in your neighborhood does not include curb. The reason being is the cost. I hate to use that as an excuse for everything, but unfortunately, the world we live in, that dollar makes the world go round, right? We, in the past, have been extremely successful in applying for grants to help match the cost of our road projects in the township, and that's why we've been able to do so many. I believe we applied to the state, is that right, for this? Did we apply to the state or SORTA for this neighborhood? So to SORTA. So we did apply for some grant funds to do a project, a much larger project in this neighborhood, and unfortunately it was not awarded funding. But I know Chris and Scott Chardine, as you said, saw the need in the neighborhood, and we didn't want to wait for that grant money to roll in to do that project. So this was sort of a departure from normal for us to go ahead and do the work that we did in the neighborhood, even without the grant money. So unfortunately, like I said, because of the cost, we're trying to make the roads as drivable as possible, because I know it was like bombed out over there. Unfortunately, doing the curb would have made it so that it just wouldn't be feasible for us to do at all. So we're trying to do the best in your neighborhood with what we have as far as the budget goes for the work. I'm sorry that's not the news that you wanted to hear.
Well, I'm very observant, so I'm always looking at the other side of Delhi Road that seems to get new curves, and on the other side of Finneytown, they've just got new curves. I just drove through there on my way here, and most of that community over there got curves.
I know where you're talking
So when you're saying the funding,
that's going to be unfortunately the difference in getting awarded either state or local grant funds to match the cost of that project.
we can be patient. We waited all this time. I just don't want the work that you all done to start crumbling on the edges where people driving, or the rocks start chipping off the curb and somebody drive over, and now you start damaging the blacktop that you just put down. So
I completely understand. You
Okay.
want to keep that looking nice. And it's certainly not a project or a neighborhood that's going to fall off of our radar.
Okay.
And certainly we'll do curb repair as needed. So if you see an area where it's really crumbling or it looks bad, please don't hesitate to call us or get in touch with Scott or someone in the Public Works Department, and we'll send someone out to patch repair it.
Okay, thank you.
And I would like to say, Brian, we really wanted to do the whole project, do everything. But when we didn't get the state funding that we wanted, we were like, this can't wait. We got to get in there. We got to help these people and get the roads done. So was it exactly what we wanted? No. But we, in this job, a lot of times we're kind of robbing Peter to pay Paul and trying to, do the most for the most people. So we,
Well, we truly appreciate what you've done. Don't get me wrong, we truly appreciate it.
Definitely saw the need in that neighborhood, and we wanted to get you the best that we could do at this time.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
The other projects that we also have grants.
Would anybody else like to address the board? I think I know you.
Good afternoon, everybody, or good evening, everyone. My name's Sandra Presley. I'm from the North Central Branch Library as the Senior Branch Manager. The address is 11109 Hamilton Avenue. I have two really fun events that I want to invite everyone to. So next Monday, we are having PB and Jam come and do a bunch of music games and dancing. And we just found out that Cane's is going to send one of their employees to hand out some nice goodies and gift cards. So please make sure you make it to this event. It is next Monday, June 16th, from 10:30 to 11:30. I myself am going to join, and I'm going to bring my twins so they can come and enjoy the festivities, because Monday's usually my later day. So we're just going to get up early and have some fun together with all the kids at the North Central Branch Library. So that is a really fun event where you can come out and listen to some nursery rhymes, and they have a following, so I anticipate it to be on and hopping. On Tuesday, we are having, that event is intended for ages 1 through 5, but the library does not card. So if you are a parent with older kids, bring them too and let them enjoy the festivities. I feel like you're never too young or old to enjoy a nursery rhyme. Next Tuesday, on the 17th, we will have Jazz to Motown. And we also have good news for that event as well. We will have some representatives from Skyline Chili coming in to hand out more goodies and swag and potentially some giveaways. That one is 2 to 3, and it's for all ages. So we have 2 really big events that we'd like to invite everyone to. I have some program calendars. One side's June, one side's July, because we have a very, very fun and engaging summer program. Speaking of which, we have already kicked off summer reading, so any kiddos you have in your life, bring them by to any of our 41 locations to get them signed up for summer reading. They get a free book that is theirs to keep, so they can go ahead and start that lifelong learning journey of theirs. And they also get a little, they get to spin the wheel and get like a tchotchke prize, which is super fun. And we have lots of activities at all of our locations. Also, as supplies last with signing your kiddos up for summer reading, there's Reds tickets that you can get as well. Each voucher that you get admits 2 people. So definitely mention those, because we do have limited supplies for those Reds tickets. So I have been to the Reds Stadium recently with my oldest daughter, and they have a pen station in the Reds Stadium. So they really upgraded the stadium, and there's so much fun to enjoy. So make sure you mention that when you're signing up for summer reading. Lastly, there's not been much changing with the state budget and what's going on with the library. So definitely want everyone to just stay informed, reach out to your local librarians to learn more about it. We are hoping to learn more June 30th, but as of right now, nothing really has changed with the state budget and the library fund. I thank you all for allowing me some time to speak and share about our exciting news at the library, and I hope to see you all sometime soon. Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Would anybody else like to address the board?
Hi, my name is Rachel Garrett, and I'm at 2060 Miles Woods Drive. I just want to thank, was it Robert? He's part of your team, and he said on behalf of the trustee board and the entire team, I just want to thank each and every one of you for sending me this letter. I helped clean 7 Hills, and somebody sent me a letter. I have never received a letter for doing anything I have done, and I am serious. I just want to thank you. Also, I want to thank Sarah, who always gets me to clean some area. She does. I mean, she always gets me to help, and I just want to take the time to thank Sarah and what she's doing in the community.
Thank you.
Thank you, Rachel.
We want to thank you for what you give back to the community. We really do. People like you make this a better place.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
No doubt.
Good evening, everybody.
Good evening.
I wanted to come out. My name is William Hooks, by the way. I don't know all of you by name. I voted for you, naturally. to be here. I own the property, the old Bob Hope House property at 1805 Miles Road. My friend here is familiar with me. Kathleen, we know each other. Chris Gilbert is a good friend of mine. I've known him since I've had the property. It's going on, 12 years that I've owned that property now. And I just wanted to come and let you guys know I am there. I am a real person, even though I haven't been to these meetings. I'm going to start coming to the meetings because I have some ideas and some things that I'd like to try to get the incorporation of the whole team of you here to assist in whatever we wind up doing there. So I just to come out, just to look at you guys and see that you are real. You do have faces with the names, and I will be coming back. So please get used to seeing me, because I will be coming, not with my hat in my hand, but for any assistance that I feel like, you might be able to help me with my property. And I will definitely be coming to the brush team in the very near future. But just wanted to introduce myself, let you know who I was, put a name to the face if you've heard of me before. And I will be definitely talking to Kathleen hopefully sometime in the near future.
Always happy to.
All right, thanks a lot.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Would anybody else like to address the board? Okay, with that, I'd like to thank you all for coming. And if we can have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
All those in favor?
Aye.
Meeting's adjourned.
Thanks again.